Sarah Robb O'Hagan, a global leader in high performance, has spent years helping both elite athletes and top executives unlock their potential. As former CEO of Exos and a former executive at Nike, Gatorade, Equinox, and the Virgin Group, she pioneered strategies that balance peak performance with well-being. Now, she shares her approach to creating sustainable, high-performing work cultures.
Has anyone experienced in the last few years what we've read about with burnout, right? Like exhaustion. I'm looking at you nodding. It's like every single one of us, suddenly we're in our homes, we're working 12, 14, 16, 18-hour days because there was no break. And what was interesting is in the workplace, it seemed that we just kept going and going and going and not realizing, it's quite easy to explain to an athlete actually that physically, if you just keep going and going, your body's going to break. But for some reason, corporate executives struggle to understand how to balance recovery with intentional load. This is your brain on meetings. Just take that in for a second. All right, so this is the Microsoft Human Performance Lab data. And what it's showing is the brain at the top is a person who has had back-to-back meetings all day. And the two brains in the middle, all of the red stuff, that shows a brain deeply under stress. At the bottom, that is the brain going through the same meeting schedule, but having 10-minute breaks in between each meeting. Isn't that ridiculous? Like, does that blow you away? Every time I see this chart, I'm like, holy, that blows me away. So if there's one thing I can say for all of you is you prepare for this next phase. You are going into battle. It's going to be a tough market out there. How are you going to think about getting into peak performance for yourself and for your teams? And how you can do it is what we at Exos call readiness. And readiness is when your psychology and your biology is working together for you. So how do you build a culture of readiness? You can do this within your teams. You can do it for yourself individually. So first of all, it starts by prioritizing individual recovery. What do I mean by that? So at Exos, we've put in a whole new culture code where we say you cannot be on a Zoom call for more than 45 minutes. Is everyone going to freak out when I say that? And at the end of 45 minutes, you actually have to take time off. We tell everyone they have to get out of your chair, walk, I don't care, 5 minutes, just move before you sit down and do it again. And then lastly, building connection and community, really thinking about ways for your team to constantly make them feel included, because the more that you feel connection with your teammates, the better it is for your mental health. We have such an epidemic of young people sitting at home in their little boxes and not realizing that when you're part of a team and you work together, it's very, very good for your mental health. We covered a lot. I think we've covered a lot.